Come
Hello
on.
and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah, a few different things.
It is going to be a full show. I have a fun thing planned for if we have time for it, but if not, it will be pushed back to next week. And I'm probably going to cut my week short a little bit to try and fit all this in because we got just between two things we covered today already that people haven't seen yet. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
before we get into all that, though, every week we start this podcast with weeks.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
Rundgren, how has your week been?
Been pretty good, man. Been pretty good. I watched Thor: Love and Thunder,
Okay.
and I enjoyed it. I did. I think it might be a little bit misunderstood. I don't want to. I don't think this will spoil anything, but that whole movie is from one person's point of view. It's
Right.
one person. It's one of the characters telling the story.
Right.
So, and I don't know. It's silly, and there's some parts of it that are a little bit much.
Yeah.
Like the cheese is thick,
Right.
right? But like I said, is with who it's being told by, that would make
Makes
sense. Yeah, I don't know. It might not have been the best. It's not the best movie ever, but I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Okay.
Of course, I had a lot in it because I knew what happened. You want some cheese? I left him cheese. The I said, but I knew what happens when Jane Foster picks up the hammer.
Right.
I knew that. I knew that was So I was kind of a little bit invested anyway. But I thought it was cool. I like the characters. Like the movie. Yeah, I'm sure there's some people throwing a hissy fit about it, but
I'm sure.
and some people that just absolutely adore it. And I'm not kind of in the middle. It's a good movie.
Man,
But
Thor is a character that I loved in early MCU movies. And, like, the stuff that happens with him in Infinity War and Endgame, he's all great. He has a great arc in those movies. And then after that, I don't know what it is about the MCU, but, like, after Endgame and then No Way Home, I went, all right, I'm good. Just mentally, just checked out. And I have no huge desire to go watch anymore.
yeah, well, that was, whether you like him or not, that's a pretty historic moment. 22 movie arc,
Right?
spread out universe that goes through with hits and misses, and closing it off. So it is, that last part is a very logical. All right, we're done.
Just close the book now. We don't need to read any more chapters.
But I don't know. I kind of wonder if they have. I don't think they have like the cohesive arc they did for those first. What phase are we in now?
Phase 5, I think now, or is we still in phase 4?
No, we're still phase 4. Phase 3 ended with whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever that was over phase 1, 2, and 3. I don't think they're quite as centralized. On this, or maybe not yet. But Thor: Love and Thunder, I enjoyed it. It wasn't a bad movie. What a bad movie. And then what else? We had we ran around the chickens.
Yeah.
And got the cloak. That was a lot of fun.
Cloak a cluck.
It's fucking crazy.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth every excruciating second of dying over and over again.
And let's thank let's say it was Ginger one night and Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Yes. Ben-Hur another
Charleston
night.
Heston.
For it's made of people. So we did that. I did get a song finished.
Nice.
I'm like behind. I'm ahead. I've got songs for the next few weeks, but I've got to get some stuff finished.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking all that. And then what else? I don't think there was much. Oh yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes of Inuyasha.
Okay.
On that, while my significant loving other stabbed me hundreds of times. But I like it was fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah,
But
Inuyasha
now
is a weird show.
it is, and yes, demon means the same thing, but it doesn't mean the same thing.
Right.
And yeah, but I like it. So I mean, it's good to watch. It's good to watch. And then we have coming up this week. We should be finishing off the next disc in Inside Gundam. Yeah, and we'll be talking about that next one, and then one more disc after that
for the first half. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah. So we watched episodes 16, 17, and 18, 19, and 20. The final disc for the first half is 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
I think I totally lied to Dark.
Yeah.
And I did not mean to.
Then after that, we'll have, for the second half, disc 1 is 26 through 30. Disc 2 is 31 through 35. Disc 3 is 36 through 40. 4 is 41 through 45. And disc 5 is 46 through 50. Gundam is one of the longer Gundam seasons.
Yeah, and this is why I picked Inuyasha over One Piece.
Yeah.
Even though I know that probably hurts you a little bit.
I understand.
But
I understand.
But with that devastating news, how's your week been, sir?
My week's been pretty good. I was going to wear my One Piece shirt tonight, but it has shrunk in the wash and is too small for me now.
Sure.
So, that is going to my girlfriend. Inuyasha is also very long, but it's not. It's long in a different way. It's long in that by the end of it, you question why it took us this long to get here. So for my week, I watched Kamen Rider Geats. I watched the first 2 episodes of Geats. Video coming up for that soon. I really like the start of this. It is a Kamen Rider that is set in a battle royale game, except it's not a game to the people that are in it, because it happens in real life.
Yeah, like gladiators, like a free for all gladiators.
So they get picked by this company, and if they choose to accept it, then when it happens, they get drug into this like pocket dimension, and then sent back out into the real world where people are getting attacked and killed. To play a round where they have to try and get the most points. And it's pretty cool.
Did the writer just get off a Gantz kick or something like that?
Pretty much, yeah. And the way that they worked it in is like, hey, you get power-ups, and that's what allows you to get mode changes and forms and stuff like that. And it is the most, hey, it's a video game without being a video game, because the stakes are still super high, and they're treating it with all the respect that I wanted them to, of, hey, this is a competition, and this is technically a game, but everybody's lives are on the line, and some dark stuff happens pretty quick. So
you got to set the stakes, man. You got to set the stakes.
Yeah, and they do. No, I think it's really cool. The effects are really cool. The music's really cool. I'm looking forward to more of Geats for sure. And I really like this protagonist. Without spoiling too much, the main writer may or may not have pulled a Kitsune-style trick to be able to get a power-up, which is really cool. And then at one point afterwards, when questioned on it, he goes, I'm a Kitsune. What do you expect?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
fair enough.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So it's pretty good so far. I like it. And then game wise, still been working on everything I was working on. I did put up another SD Gundam video because I am almost done with Directory 6, and I've got a really good farming setup going that allows me to level things up a lot faster. Turns out you just gotta cheese the system.
Hey. Yeah.
Do what you gotta do. There's
hey, dude, that goes back to Final Fantasy 1.
Yep.
It probably goes back before that, but that's the earliest I can remember cheesing the system.
So in Battle Alliance, if you use a suit that has a special that is a buff instead of just being a single attack, basically specials give extra credits, extra capital when you use them on an enemy. And most specials are like single target, single use. But if you use a buff, anything you kill while having that buff on gives you extra capital.
Aye, there's the rub.
Then there's a skill that extends the duration of your buffs.
Yeah.
And then if you pair that with the roll action that makes enemies drop one more extra capital gem that can be however much capital is worth coming from that enemy, then you use the F91, which is really fast and has a buff special, and you buff, roll action, and then just tag a bunch of enemies. You don't have to kill them. You just tag them. And when they die, because you tagged them while you had all your buffs up, they drop a bunch of extra capital.
See, now you're playing like a new type, sir.
Right? So the
Now
video
you're
that I
playing.
did that went up today, I did it on a Directory 4 mission and got as much capital as if I had just done a Directory 6 mission, basically. And I did it in a fourth of the time, you know? Like,
Yeah.
doing it on Directory 6 missions, which I can now do because the F91 is now my highest level suit because I've been leveling it, because I've been using it, means that you can just bring in a whole bunch of credits. And because credits aren't affected if you play it on easy, you put it on easy so stuff dies faster. And there you go. Bing, bang, boom. You're good to go.
You've now fixed the grind in this game, huh?
Yes, and that's all I really needed to be able to love it. And so I'm doing pretty good now, you know. I've linked it for you, Dark. But you can also do it with the Hazel, and those are the two that I know of. The Alex, those are the two that I know of that have the buff. I'm sure there are others that I just don't know of yet. But no, it's still going really well. I'm loving that game now that I can, especially because I just already loved the F91. So this is just a bonus. You double the buff. I don't know if you can double the special buff because I have the roll action and the buff going at the same time, and that's all I can get.
Once you figure out something like that, I don't care what the game is. If you're enjoying the game, that just makes it so much better.
Yeah. Unless you mean having another player use it too, in which case I don't think so. Because I think capital is exclusive to, like, everybody gets their own capital in the mission. So I think even if you had a whole team of F91s, it would still just be the enemies are dropping that buff. I don't think it would give you, like, double of the double.
I'm going to buff up and kill everything.
But that's the way to do it.
Now you're fighting like the Titans. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Pay me, I'll kill it.
So, very, very true. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. There's some other stuff that I did, but you know, for the sake of brevity, I'll call it early. I will just say shout out to a mobile game called The Tower Game that I'm going to be making a video on that has absorbed my life recently. It's a really cool tower defense game that I can play when I'm using the bathroom or making food. And, you know, hey, that's all I really need. I got a death ray in it.
Did you?
Yeah, it fires a beam that just eviscerates anything it touches.
It seems then you would have won then.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. All right, we'll move on from my week. We're almost done with Vikings, so hopefully I'll be able to talk about that next week.
Okay. All right.
Get into reviews.
Yes.
Got some reviews to cover. And specifically, we have 3 very different games to review. Let's start with Splatoon 3.
Yes.
So, anybody that knows anything about Splatoon knows that it is a... See how I did that, where you don't have to feel bad if you don't know, viewer? I'm so clever. It's a multiplayer shooter that's based instead around area control instead of killing enemies. Although when you kill an enemy, you gain a section where they were standing under your control. But it's about painting the level to be your color while also doing the objective. And it's very different from every other shooter on the market, basically because of that, the way that it works.
Yeah.
And they just continue to iterate on that same idea with each new release. Splatoon 3 is that, but it also has a story mode where the world is in rough shape, you know? So, you're supposed to
Alright.
buy it next month? No.
Well, I don't think they're gonna change. They're not gonna change the formula for
Right.
Splatoon. They're gonna change. They're gonna change the look, add a new area, uh, things like that. It's a different fighting
Ice
game,
cream,
but
you're
it's
so
the
right.
same. What are you doing?
Thank you. I'm sorry.
What are
I'm out of
you
it.
doing?
We've been recording so many hours today.
Get up the ice cream.
It's up there now. It is here.
All right. So let's start this off. It's Splatoon, which can be fun for a little while. For me. So I'm gonna go 82.
Okay. Dark's brought
Dark
in
at
84.
Yeah. We'll get a couple more. 87. Faith 87 for
87.
Waverly.
So
There
we
we
can
go.
go.
Yes.
Answer is 83.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow. All right. All right. We're all pretty close.
Let
Yeah.
me hit you with my favorite blurb right here.
Right between us. Something's come between us, Dark. Apparently, it was the correct answer.
The Daily Star says, the game is great and well worth buying if you're looking for some multiplayer online shooting fun without the overt violence.
Yeah. That's a good description of the game.
Yeah. It doesn't tell me if it's worth. Did you just say it's worth buying? I guess it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess I'm supposed to trust you, Daily Star. I don't. You've given me no reason to. But speaking of trust, let me read you this one from Trusted Reviews. Clearly, you can trust them. It's in their name.
Yeah. What a great name. Yes.
Splatoon 3 feels like a fresh coat of paint for the series. Haha, I see what you did there. You're not the only person that made that joke. Specifically, 7 blurbs have that joke in there. With a new story mode, right? As well as additional weapons, stages, and enemies. With the main multiplayer modes largely unchanged compared to Splatoon 2, series veterans may feel aggrieved that there aren't any substantial upgrades or new modes. But Splatoon 3 still offers spades of fun and will no doubt be one of the leading multiplayer titles on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, they do it. They get an article. I get it. Do it. I get kicked out of the zoo.
Right?
I don't know. So they don't sound too keen on it. I'm gonna go. You ready? I'm gonna go 78. Yep. I'm gonna drop. Okay. I'm gonna drop some points there. I'm going down to 78 to the recommended score.
All right. What do you think, chat? 80,
83,
84,
84. We're around in there. Come on. One of us has got this.
Keep vanishing. The answer is 88%.
Fine.
You know, it's pretty high up there, which is really funny because most of the reviews are relatively negative or like, you know, saying, hey, this is a safe sequel, but everybody seems to like it even though they're saying that.
Yeah.
Quack.
I didn't either. I did not expect it. I expected it to go down. I thought the recommended score would be lower.
Yeah.
All right.
Before I put this next one on screen, I should probably say that I forgot to mention in my week that I got a kitten this week, and he meows a lot, and his name's Laurent, and that's all. I just wanted to mention. Because if I don't mention it, somebody's going to go, well, did you talk about the kitten? So.
Yeah.
No, for a small person, probably. Yes. You know what won't be, though? NBA 2K23. Gotta be a tall person.
Okay.
That was the joke.
I don't want to give this a good score because I like there are football games and basketball games that I like.
Yeah.
But a lot of these are it's the same thing year after year. They change the roster and charge the same. Anyway, there's all kinds of complaints.
Yeah.
So And then people are going to gripe about their scores. They think they should have a higher rating.
Yeah.
Or why did you put that there? Which probably nobody get this, but if they do, I want some discussion down in the comments to get it, and maybe nobody else will get it. Yeah, true, but I'm gonna put it this way: they got Jordan on the cover. I don't like the Bulls. I don't like the Lakers. I'll take Jordan over LeBron James. LeBron James goes out and gets championships. Jordan brought them to him. There's a difference. That should start a fight in the comments.
That's great, especially since I have no idea what to do that means. So I'm just like, yeah, find it out in the comment section, please.
Somebody will make sure you know. So if the right people hear that, they'll make sure they'll know it. I think, I don't know. I'm gonna go 80.
Okay.
On that.
We got an 82, a 76, and a 72. The score is
verified.
81.
Really? Okay.
Right there.
Okay. Yeah. Right there at it.
So I need you to know that I avoided a bunch of reviews.
Yes.
Because so many of them use the exact same pun about jumping onto the court. So many of them said NBA 2K23 jumps onto the court with, and I cannot explain to you how much my brain hurt trying to pick reviews on this.
You're not marketing. You're critics.
Right. So I'm going to give you the 3 reviews that didn't do that, basically. I'm not going to tell you they don't have puns.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you they don't have that one. The first one is from Attack of the Fanboy, which says, NBA 2K23 does a killer job of opening the floor to those that are new to the franchise or those returning for their 18th time. It is. It is. It really is. I just wanted it because it didn't say the exact phrase.
Gotcha.
With gorgeous visuals that help solidify this as one of the best looking games of the generation so far. Best looking games of the generation so far. The controls that let you feel like a pro. There's very little to complain about here. Now, if I'm talking best looking games of the generation.
Well, look. We have discussed this repeatedly. Yeah. There's no excuse for your game not to look beautiful if you want it. There's no excuse for your game to look close to realistic if you want it to, and you want to use that software.
Yeah.
So that's not.
I agree. That's not a big selling point.
A selling point to that.
Yeah.
I think
2 more for you.
Score. Okay, get going. I think I've got my score though. Go for it. Those 2.
Next up is Finger Guns that says NBA 2K23 has something for everyone to get stuck into. Whether you want to get engrossed in the Jordan era or have your own come up in my career, all provide a lot to work with some of the best visuals to hit consoles. And again, that's the same argument. And deep gameplay that plays so solidly, NBA 2K23 is a great iteration of the franchise. And then finally, but why though, says overall, if you're a fan of 2K's work and the NBA 2K series, there are plenty of reasons to pick up NBA 2K23. The soundtrack, Jordan Challenge Mode, and new storyline all help offer a generally playable experience. However, anyone that thinks 2K23 will offer a new or highly improved experience may need to re-examine their expectations. The bottom line is that NBA 2K23 is aimed at fans of the franchise and basketball fans alike, delivering the exact experience that most people would expect.
Okay.
83. Got to say.
I'm going 85. I'm going to jump over those. So, yeah, 85, 83, 76. Oh, we got an ad. And a 77. All right, so we got our scores in. After these messages, we will.
That's right. It's the perfect cliffhanger moment.
Reveal the scores.
When the ad ends, the truth shall be revealed.
Like that.
It's 84. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Still have no ad? Hey, you're just one of the lucky ones, I guess.
I guess so.
Say now.
There we are.
All right. Score is 71.
Okay. Okay, the fanboys didn't win out on that one.
Nope.
71. Not surprised.
I'm not either.
I'm not surprised. I thought they might bump it up, but no. All right.
All right. Last one is Steelrising. Now I have a little thing from the developer here on what Steelrising is.
Oh,
Steelrising is an interesting take on the Soulsborne genre with good difficulty options and aesthetic. I'm sorry, this is from the critics, not from the developer. I should specify that. But doesn't do enough to set itself apart and has a fair amount of bugs. So just have that going in. It is a new Souls-like with slight Metroidvania-style elements and an interesting aesthetic. Have that going in, because I know up until this point you didn't really have much. Nice, Dark.
I'm done.
You won an 85.
Ran. 83.
Okay.
83. I'll shoot in the middle there.
Because of the bugs, yeah. I haven't played it myself. That's just the open critic review that they share.
Well, if it's good, if it's feeling good and it's just buggy,
that can be fixed.
Yeah, and be patched.
At an 82, the answer is 72.
All right. Well, we're all a lot more optimistic tonight than they are.
So ACG says bye. And then, man, I have to read this one for you.
Okay.
I have to. Digitally downloaded says Steelrising sits right there with the original Neo as my favorite example of a Souls-like made outside of From Software. The spectacular alternative history backdrop is a delightful way of getting people interested in the events and people of the French Revolution, and that's backed with some of the most enjoyable and distinctive level and environment design that we've seen from the genre to date. Of course, it's not Elden Ring, and was never going to hit that level of polish or scope. However, it also wasn't trying to. It's very comparable to the likes of Neo, and the sheer thought that went into making every building block within it relate to its themes and artistic vision makes it a compelling and thoughtful entry into an increasingly overcrowded genre. I have so many thoughts about that blurb. Why even bring up Elden Ring? Why? You don't have to. You really don't have to. You don't have to bring up From Software. The game can stand on its own merits. You don't have to compare it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's a little badge for this year.
Yeah.
That's a little badge to have.
It's not Elden Ring, but it's not trying to be. Well, yeah, no duh. It's not made by those people, and it's not called Elden Ring. What are you thinking? Chode Veins was 75. That really bothers me when people bring up, you don't have to compare it to Dark Souls just because it's in that genre. You can just talk about what it does.
Yeah.
You can do that. Not everything has to be compared to everything else. You don't have to bring up Mario when you talk about a 3D platformer or a 2D platformer. You can just talk about the platforming.
Yeah, but then how will anybody recognize your creds?
Yeah, exactly. But RPG site. Let's get. I'll stop my rant. We'll get into the reviews. Spider Studio tackles a different subgenre of RPG with Steelrising, going for a Souls-like experience this time around. While competent, it doesn't achieve much to stand out from the crowd.
Okay.
And then I have one more for you.
All right.
That is from VG247. The game tickles that part of your brain that big hitters like Elden Ring and Dark Souls do. Why? Even if it does so with less intensity. If you're absolutely fiending for more of that kind of game or just looking for a fair weather bash, pick it up with tempered expectations.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm going to say 74.
Okay.
74.
Chat, 78.
78. Right. 69. 76.
The answer is 47.
Ah!
I would say, Dark, like Dark Souls now doesn't stand out among the others for sure. But when it came out, it stood out among other video games just for the build variety that you could do, and the way the world was linearly connected to where you could just like go anywhere from anywhere. But nowadays, that's pretty standard for action games.
I do not recommend this game.
Yeah, it's really low, 47. Just bam. Oh,
all right.
maybe it's good, and people just have higher expectations of the genre now. We'll see. We'll see. Doesn't make me want to super play it, honestly. Dark, I'm interested in your review. That's
fair.
I'll put it that way. I'm interested in your review. All right, let's get into announcements, and this is going to be the meat and potatoes of the podcast tonight. I do like Frog Gun. Frog Gun is because we got a lot of announcements to go over.
All right, hit it, Bo.
Let's talk about Ubisoft Forward.
Ubisoft Forward. All right.
So Ubisoft Forward happened. They didn't announce ahead of time when it was happening. They just said, "Hey, it's going to happen soon," and then, "Hey, we're doing it today." And it was like, "Oh, okay, all right." But it was like 40 minutes roughly, with a decent pre-show. The big things is I'm not going to be covering everything that was announced there, but just the big stuff. Simon Belmont and Alucard are coming to Brawlhalla. That's cool. We got to see some stuff on Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which we get to see more stuff later on, you know? Doesn't have a lot of workers because ahead of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, Alucard from Castlevania, not Alucard from Hellsing. Also, apparently, a DLC will be coming to Sparks of Hope that has Rayman in it. So, you know, Rayman's coming back, I guess.
Yeah. He's a thing.
There's some gameplay that's shown off for Skull and Bones. That's still coming, so, you know. Some stuff was shown for The Division Heartland. It just seems to be more Division, really. And then a beta test for Division Resurgence, which is also just more Division, really. I'm not trying to be reductive here. It's just when I say this show was not like blowing me away, there's a reason that we didn't do a reaction for it. Rainbow Six Mobile is getting a beta test. They announced a live-action Assassin's Creed show coming to Netflix. I don't expect that to be good. They announced Valiant Hearts 2, Mighty Quest 2, and an Assassin's Creed mobile game are exclusively coming to Netflix games. So it'll be mobile games you play with Netflix.
Yeah. They're still trying to get that to work, huh?
Yeah, they're working on it. Cross-play and cross-progression is being added to Trackmania for consoles and cloud, so that's good. Then, of course, Just Dance was announced. That's just, you know, coming. Yeah, they've had a games branch for a while. It hasn't gone well.
They're not. That's why I said they're still working on it.
Then they announced Assassin's Creed Mirage. You're going to be playing as a young Basim, which is before Valhalla. It'll take place in Baghdad. It'll be narrative driven. It'll focus on stealth and assassinations. And historical characters will be part of the game again.
Yeah.
That seems pretty cool.
Yes. It does. Yes.
20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they announced the last expansion will be coming for Valhalla, which is just called The Last Chapter. Sure.
Yeah. Because it is.
Right.
The one before it was called the penultimate chapter.
Right. Yeah. They announced an Assassin's Creed open world mobile game that'll be taking place in ancient China, and I'm so mad this is a mobile game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, when in ancient China? When?
Okay.
When is it going to be? I wish I knew.
I know when I want it would be, but that would make it even more aggravating. That's a mobile game.
Yes. I want Yellow Turban Rebellion.
That'd be great. The story leading up, how that happens, which side you help.
I want to assassinate Dong Zhuo. Let me do that.
Let's not get personal here.
Oh, man. They won't let me. They won't let me fight Lu Bu and have to run away. Mobile game. And then they announced Assassin's Creed codename Jade. I'm sorry, that's the name for the mobile game. Assassin's Creed codename Red is the one that's set in Japan.
Man. Yes.
And we don't know when.
Yeah.
And you play as a shinobi.
Yes. Yes. Ugh.
There's a lot of ways you can make this great. A lot of ways you can mess it up, too.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a few of us around that may be like aggravated, excited, and
yeah.
And if you read the comments, you'll understand somebody else's point of view too.
Right.
Because yes, there's some amazing tales, not only like historically, like the legend. I don't know. There's so much. When is it?
What era? Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, yeah, that's a way you can do it too, Dark. They also announced Assassin's Creed Hexe. Or Hex. I was unsure how they're going to pronounce it yet.
Why did they do this? Why do they do this?
I don't know.
They did every time. They will flood it, and then everybody gets sick of it. They'll go, wait, if you remember, how many 2D games did they have when it was it after Black Flag?
Yep.
And you had the one in Russia.
Hexe is a German word, but it is still code name. So it's also, I also don't trust Ubisoft to say words right. Like, not to be super rude here, but lest we forget, they tried to call him Altair at first instead of Altair.
Altair.
Lest we forget.
Yes. It's hard to hold a straight face when you're being attacked by cow.
Yeah.
So, but that's not them. Then there's just a point.
Yeah, I don't trust them to say the names correctly, which is also probably why it's just codename Hexe, codename Jade, codename Red, and will probably be.
No, it wasn't that. No, see, this is what's bothering me because all those 2D Assassin's Creed games. Boy, I went through that because when in Russia, they might have run one in China then too.
Yeah,
I thought there was one in maybe around Italy.
They announced a bunch of them that never came out too.
Yes. So I've been burned before, Drake.
Yeah.
I've been burned before.
Yeah. They also announced Assassin's Creed Project Infinity, which is not a game, but is a hub that ties all the games together.
Look,
don't know what that means yet.
Just work on the machine that lets me jack in so I can go running around.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I think it was Russia, China, and Saudi Arabia, yeah. And then they gave us a roadmap of it, which is in 2022, we're getting the last chapter of Valhalla. In 2023, we're getting Mirage. And then they might as well not have given us this roadmap, because then it says, on the horizon, codename Red, codename Hexa, codename Jade, partnership with Netflix.
Yeah. To be
Russia,
announced.
China, India. Yeah.
Yeah, there's stories there as well.
So we'll see. If I had to guess, Hexa is probably either going to be Germanic or it's going to go for like Druidism.
Celtic?
Yeah. One of the two. So we'll find out.
All right.
You know.
They got Doug gave him the seal of approval for those ones. Maybe some of these will hold up to what was before.
Look, if they make me assassinate Cao Cao in Codename Jade, I will be upset. I don't want to sneak into Cao Cao's house and assassinate him so Cao Pi takes over. I don't want to do that. But I know the world thinks Cao Cao's the villain because of the novel. He was not a villain. He was just an ambitious man who did some bad things. I won't deny those bad things he did.
Ain't nobody innocent in that story.
No, and he's definitely not Dong Chuo.
By the end of it, no.
Everybody thinks Liu Bei's the good guy, even though Liu Bei stole land from his cousin. Threw his own child on the ground.
As hard times I give Lu Bu, I kind of understand why he killed Dong Zhou.
Not posting what we've recently.
What?
I'm not seeing any missed messages in the chat. Oh, I see it didn't have the sulk on there for some reason. Restream didn't grab that.
What?
That's weird. Maybe Restream had a hiccup. Everyone thinks Hex is 1600 Germany set during the 30 Years' War during the witch trials. Possible. Yeah, you grabbed it that time. I'm guessing it was just a hiccup from Restream. Give it a shot. Yeah. See if it sulks this time.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's just a hiccup.
All right.
Next up, we have the Disney Marvel Game Showcase.
Okay.
They decided to do. Tron Identity was announced. It's made by Bithell, who makes mobile games normally. It says Steam, but they didn't say anything. It's just, hey, we're making this game.
Okay.
From what people have found later from the Steam listing, it looks like it might be a visual novel.
Okay, or trying.
Yeah.
They'll have cool colors in it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Disney Illusion Island was announced, which is looks like an attempt to go back to the style of like old school Disney platformers, like Mickey Mouse in the Haunted Forest or whatever it was called.
Okay.
It could be good. It kind of just feels like a Runner or Cuphead, like a mix between those two, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
They announced more stuff for Midnight Suns, which is the new Marvel game coming out with a bunch of Marvel characters in it. That's going to be a mobile fighting game.
Yeah.
They revealed Marvel Snap, which is Hearthstone-like.
Okay.
Coming to phones. They announced Aliens Dark Descent, which is Look, I'm going to be completely straight with you here. This game looks like it is a copy of Warhammer 40k Battle Sector, which is the game that's Blood Angels versus Tyranids, but made for aliens. It has almost that exact same UI, basically.
Yeah.
That's just what it looks like to me. If it's not that, I'm sorry, but that's sure what it looks like. Marvel Snap, not Marvel Snack. They announced some new characters coming to the Lego Skywalker Saga, most of these being characters from Kenobi.
Golly. Of course. Okay.
They announced Gargoyles Remastered, which I assume is the Gargoyles game or the show. I don't know because they didn't go into details.
Look, if you want to bring the show back, if you want to bring the cartoon back and just redo the cartoon, I'll be cool with that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But they didn't say, so we'll have to wait and see. Monsters, Inc. is being added to Disney Speedstorm. Sure. They announced Avatar Reckoning, which is a mobile MMORPG shooter.
Okay, so he is getting remade. Okay, well, Avatar, no. Man,
it looks rough, to be honest with you. Again, if you can tell I'm not excited for this, it's because most of this is mobile game news, but I felt like we should at least talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it happened.
We can kind of make fun of it and crap on it a little bit.
Right.
Go ahead.
There is a Marvel Ensemble game coming from Amy Hennig that used to be at BioWare.
Okay.
Not much is known about it yet, other than just, hey, 4 heroes, 2 worlds, 1 war, and the heroes look like Captain America, Black Panther, and then 2 characters, one of each attached to those 2, like another character from Wakanda and another character from what seems to be 1940s military.
Okay.
Who knows if that's going to be good or not? That's a really weird decision to put those 2 together, and I don't know it's going to be done well. I don't know it's Black Panther. They didn't say. When I tell you we get the bare minimum of information here, I mean it.
It's all such a love-hate relationship with Disney. They've got some stuff that's really amazing.
Yeah.
They got some stuff that I just like, but they do the things they do sometimes.
Yeah. Finally they announced Marvel
phone,
World
don't
of Heroes for mobile. And it just, this is their big game, right? And it just looks like that old Cartoon Network series Level Up. I say old, I guess it wasn't that old. My siblings watched it very recently. And it just looks like that, where they have like Marvel powers running around. This was not a good show, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well,
so
you're not an 8-year-old with mommy or daddy's credit card either. So
that's right. So yeah, we'll move on from that into more exciting stuff. Let's talk about State of Play that happened today. And you and I recorded a reaction to this.
Yes, we did.
That'll go up late in the night tonight or tomorrow after it gets done rendering and uploading. Because I can't render it during the podcast, because obviously that's a bad idea. But, you get to see our live reactions to this stuff. But I figured we'd just run down the list.
Okay. All right.
First off was Tekken 8.
Yeah, which we expected Tekken.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if they were going to have a new character DLC for 7 or whatever, but we got Tekken 8.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Tekken.
Yeah,
looks like Tekken.
I think the only thing that I'd give a shout out to here is I felt like the seamless transition between actual gameplay and CGI was pretty good.
Yeah. It did.
That's pretty good.
They spent some money on the trailer. It was good. It looked cool.
Yeah.
It looked like Tekken, and it had the distorted bass going with the drums in the background. It was energetic.
For sure. My allergies are bothering me. I'm sorry if it's visible. I took my allergy pill earlier, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I'm gonna sneak another one now, even though you're only taking one a day.
Okay.
Hopefully I can be all up on it for the podcast. If that's why my eyes keep getting like red or closing, I am okay. I've also been in front of studio lights for a long time today already. Then we got Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition.
Yeah. I don't understand why some character was showing on that.
Yeah.
On that.
This is for PSVR 2, which not only do we not have a date on, we don't have a price on, we don't know what it looks like or what the room requirements are yet, but you can pre-order this game.
There you go.
Then they showed off Demio. Sorry, they had a long E.
Yes. That looked
yeah. I like the way this looks. I'm a little concerned about how it plays, but I like the way it looks.
Fair enough, yeah.
After that, we had Like a Dragon Ishin, which is the Yakuza samurai games that are set hundreds of years before the current Yakuza series.
I will say, if you watch the live reaction, that Trey does a very good job at remaining calm, because I know when that started, inside his mind turned into a beauty pageant winner.
I wanted to not peek the mic too bad. I tried my best. No, these games have been unavailable over here for a long time, basically, because you needed to import a physical copy. You couldn't get the digital ones. and the physical copies were like $700, $800 before shipping. So yeah. Now they're being remade, brought to the West, and not only are they getting completely re-graphically done again, they're getting full official releases, and they're getting back the voice actors for characters. So
Yes.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
before shipping, and the shipping
Yeah.
is an additional like $300. And I still almost bought it at one point because I wanted to play it so bad. So good job for being patient, me. It was yours? Yeah, that sounds about right. After that, we got Hogwarts Legacy coming out February 10th. Man, I just cannot bring myself to care about this launch. I'm sorry.
No, not really. And I think just like how many times has it been done?
Yeah.
How many bad games do they put out for Harry Potter now?
But you get a free level if you get it on PS5. So,
Yes.
you know, there's that. Febtember. After that, we got Pacific Drive, which had a really good trailer.
It did. Hold my time. I want to know more about that game.
Yeah.
The trailer did its job. The little that they showed, it did its job. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it for sure did. Then they showed off PlayStation Stars, which is their new program, membership program. You get free in-game awards.
Yeah, and you can play if you fill challenges that they give, you'll get stuff.
Yeah.
Basically play what they ask you to play and do what they want you to do in that game, and they'll give you an NFT.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of it.
Right, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
They didn't give us any more information. They just dropped this and went, "All right, you must be excited for that, right? Back to the games." They could have just cut that out, and I think it would have unironically made the whole thing better.
Yeah.
Because after that, they show off Sin Duality. I almost said Shin Duality.
Right, no, Sin Duality, which that looked really cool too.
Yeah, working together with the mech, cool floating anime ghost girl, and the mech breaking stuff and going up stuff. That was cool.
Yeah.
Down for that.
Yeah, that looked very good. I think that one's probably for me. I think that's the one that sticks out.
Yeah,
there's a couple really good ones.
Trey Shinner would be really all the words that Trey makes up. Next up, we got Project Eve, now known as Stellar Blade, which, as Dark pointed out earlier, is not multiplat anymore. It is now Sony.
Yeah. Not only just Sony, that's one of the ones that's PS5 only.
Yeah, PS5 exclusive, not coming to PS4.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
It does.
Hopefully, it gets ported for everybody else later because it looks really cool. Then they showed off Rise of the Ronin. This was a cool trailer.
It was. And yeah, it looked really cool. I was getting vibes of was it Tenchu?
Yeah, definitely Tenchu
Shadow
vibes.
Attack?
Way of the Samurai as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
It looked good.
I thought at first it was the Japanese Assassin's Creed, but it's not. And it's made by the Toei guys, Tecmo Koei guys that do Neo.
It looked interesting.
I don't think it is ad time, Nightbot, but if you say so, it has been another 30 minutes. So.
Is he? He's just covering his butt. That's all. Just in case.
Then finally, they announced the God of War Ragnarok controller. That's what you were waiting this entire stream for, right? The controller.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Man. Like, I get it, right? I get it. But just, you built up the hype so well with the last couple trailers, and I was like, here we go. God of War to wrap it up. And then, controller.
Well, it's kind of funny because, I believe Sony's got the better controller.
Right.
But Xbox, you pay for it, but you could get just about anything you wanted on a controller.
You get that exact same design on an Xbox controller.
Yeah. Yes. And go it through. So it wasn't really I mean, that's cool, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't fit in with what they were doing.
Right. And then finally they gave us the actual Ragnarok trailer, and that trailer was pretty good.
It was. It was. It looked really good. Looked really good.
I'm interested for sure.
Yeah, they had it. It was. It overall. Overall, it was a pretty solid showing for Sony. I think.
Yeah. I
What was
do
coming
think
up.
the line, "I will die when death can claim me," is a
Yeah.
dang good line. I'm
That's
stealing
good.
that.
I would die when death can claim me.
Heck yeah, man. But yeah, I think it was a pretty good state of play. Obviously, there was some stuff that could have been bumped in there. I mean, we didn't even get like a sizzle reel, and I'm normally against sizzle reels, but we didn't even get a sizzle reel that had Horizon just shown in there to remind us that came out this year, so they could be, trying to hype us up for DLC or anything.
Yeah.
It just felt like, hey, here's some cool stuff, and that's kind of all we got right now.
Yeah.
As compared to the Nintendo Direct, which was made for me, and was long. It was 40 minutes long.
It was. It was very long. Very long.
Right off the bat, they bring us Fire Emblem Engage, which is coming in January 20th.
Yeah.
Hey,
around the corner.
you like Fire Emblem? This is Fire Emblem, but also we put Fire Emblem in your Fire Emblem, so you can Fire Emblem while you Fire Emblem.
It does. It seems a sequel, or it seems a game. I don't know if it's a sequel per se in the series, but it seems a game that's made definitely for somebody who likes Fire Emblem, who's played through a couple.
This to me feels like, hey, Fire Emblem Three Houses sold better than any Fire Emblem ever has. Fire Emblem Awakening before that was really great. Fates didn't do so well, but Three Houses brought the franchise back into the public collective. Three Hopes did really well. Now we want you to go buy all those old games and play them. So we're going to have a game where you can harness the power of the previous characters to be able to get stronger. And, man, I know there are people out there that are like, I hate how anime Fire Emblem has become. I wish it was back more fantasy again. Go for it, man. Go full anime. I'm here for it. Barth is literally a force ghost standing next to you like a stand from JoJo, and you summon his sword and indwell his spirit into yourself to be able to become a Ghost Marth King of Altea form to attack an enemy. I am all in on that. That is the best.
So Trey got excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty great. And again, I know there's gonna be a lot of people that don't want that, right? I did win that pageant as well. But right off the bat, this direct punched me in the face and said, "This one's for you. You like this, right?" And I said, "Yes, please, punch me more." This is so cool looking. So, yeah.
That is not an ad you'll get from Nintendo. I'll tell you that right there.
That's right. Also, like the fact that they've low keyed back the battles, because like in Three Houses, when you select an enemy to attack, it cuts to like the camera spins and you come in for the action as they hit. And here it just goes boop boop, just like the old GBE games used to. Here's the fight, you're back out of the fight, and it just makes the gameplay feel a lot more smooth than some of the other games have. So I'm really excited for that.
Very good.
Then we have, after that incredibly exciting moment, they went, "Hey, here's It Takes Two's coming to Switch on November 4th." And I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
all right, yeah, sure." You can play for free if a friend owns the game. They can give you a friend pass, and you can play online together. That's cool.
Yeah, you can put on Switch. That is a pretty cool feature.
But so
wait for them to make a console that has 2 outs for video. So
yeah,
you put one game in and sit, and each person have their own screen.
Right, I agree.
I know y'all can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can. Go ahead.
After that, we had Project Zero: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. This seemed cool. It didn't didn't blow me away, but it seemed cool. Then there was the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass coming October 14th, which adds a robot girl.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that's I will be having a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 first impressions on October 14th. It'll go up on the channel. Then they announced SpongeBob SquarePants the comic shake.
Yeah.
She's not an
yeah.
if only.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot to announce something. I'll do that later. But speaking of eye patches, it reminded me.
Okay. All right. No, this I said it was about time. We got to have another SpongeBob game. It's been the select number of years that they had to
This
wait.
one was good too.
It does. It looks like it looks like a 3D movie. Not when they come on land.
Right. Yeah. Then Nintendo reached through the screen and punched me in the face again because they announced Fitness Boxing Fist of the North Star, where you get to box with Kenshiro.
We both got a little too excited about that.
Was made.
Yes.
I saw some people on Twitter too. We took a break after recording those, and during that break, I checked Twitter because I hadn't touched Twitter because we hadn't recorded the direct yet. And I saw some people on Twitter being like, "It's Fist of the North Star," and then going, "Aw!" And it's like, no, don't go aw. Get excited. It's boxing.
We'll get more.
That's right. Then they announced Oddballer, and like, look, at this point, I'm riding so high on this direct that this game looks fine. It looks absolutely fine, and it meant nothing to me. It's a party game. I couldn't care anymore about it because I was just like, no, let me just watch more Fist of the North Star, man.
Come on.
Then they announced Tunic is coming to Switch September 27th. That's a good grab. They gave a release date for the Front Mission 1 remake, which is in November. They didn't give an actual day, just it's coming in November. Front Mission Remake 2 is coming next year. And then they announced they're making Front Mission 3 remake?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
How's that? Which Nintendo seemed to do a lot of that this year, bringing older console games forward.
Yeah.
For the Switch.
As they should. Because those games are expensive to buy right now. Bring them back, please, so I don't have to spend that.
Fair enough.
Or I will just emulate them. Then they announced Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, which has a weird twist to it that I didn't see coming, but has me sort of excited about it.
Yeah.
You age in this game.
Yes, that was that. Nothing seemed new or different about this game until they got to the family aspect of it.
Yeah.
Where you age and your kids grow up and they will decide what they go do.
Yeah.
I think I got it right. They'll decide what they do based on how you raise them. So it was that was an interesting addition to this game.
Yeah.
I don't think really brings anything else to the table.
I agree.
Besides being fun to play.
Because most farming games, I say most, all farming games that I know of, the years go by in the game, but they don't affect your character. Your characters are all timeless. Age doesn't, time doesn't pass for them, really. I'm assuming in this one you can die.
Well, I remember, we've talked about it on here before, I think, but Monster Rancher, you could your monster would age and die.
Yeah.
You would have to get new ones. I can't.
Digimon World was the same way too.
Yes. So there's a couple of times that's been done, but can't think of anyone that's been done this way.
And especially not in like a farming game that are supposed to be all chill and relaxing.
Right.
I may have to check this out.
Yeah.
But I will be checking out Octopath Traveler 2, which is coming February 24th.
Yes. Yes.
Heck yeah, man.
Still like the same art style. Looks great. Well, it's the same art style, but it does seem upgraded a little bit.
Yeah, that train looks incredible.
Yeah.
All the new characters all seem really cool. I love how it's still the same classes. It's still, hey, here's your hunter, here's your merchant. But the characters all seem very different from the previous one.
Yeah, and they promised some crossover.
Yeah.
On this one.
So stoked. So stoked. Then immediately again, man, this direct just did this to me every time. Because right after that, they announced Fae Farm, which is another farming game. It looks cute. It's got magic, and that sets it apart, I guess. But otherwise, I'm still on Octopath Traveler 2. I just could not care.
Yeah. Nothing in there blew me away. It's cool. Maybe they add magic to it. That's a nice twist. Don't know how it's implemented, but nothing that interesting.
Then they brought me right back up again with Theatrhythm Final Bar Line coming February 16th. Because not only is it more Theatrhythm, not only is it Theatrhythm on the Switch with a huge number of tracks, but it's Theatrhythm that you can play online with other people to have 4 people playing music together. And they're bringing in Nier songs, Octopath songs.
Yeah. But now, we didn't quite get details on because there's 2 different packs.
Yeah. The premium and the deluxe premium.
Yeah, the premium and the deluxe premium. So I don't know if there's not a premium.
Right.
But the one there was about 200 more songs in the deluxe package. So some of those
probably
might
be the one that has Nier.
Yeah.
I'll buy it. Then we got a full trailer for Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope coming October 20th, release date as well. It looks good.
It does. It seems like, I don't know. There's been some Mario games. What has been the biggest like Mario game that felt big? Galaxy?
Yeah, Odyssey feels pretty small, honestly.
Yeah. So I don't know. It wasn't that big of. It didn't seem like I don't know.
Really, honestly, World way back when felt huge.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we've really grabbed that since then.
Yeah. It might be good. It might be fun.
Yeah. Sunshine, I guess, is pretty big. But it looks pretty cool. And again, it's the tactical gameplay of the previous one. I'm hoping they've refined it even more because it was surprisingly like really decent tactical gameplay. It wasn't the best I've ever seen, but it wasn't anywhere close to the worst, you know. Hopefully they refined it.
Yeah.
Then we got Rune Factory 3 Special, which didn't look much better or worse, I guess, than Rune Factory 3. But what made it special for both of us is how good that art looks, even now.
Yeah.
So
there was a few games through both the State of Play and the Direct where I don't know, the art style made the impact.
Yeah, I agree.
I think. Yeah.
I agree. Then they announced weirdly in the middle of this instead of like early on, hey, there's more Nintendo 64 games coming to online. Pilot Wing 64, Mario Party 1, 2, and 3, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, 1080 snowboarding, Excitebike 64, and then and that's all. Oh, but actually it's not all because GoldenEye.
Yeah. GoldenEye.
So cool. I'm glad those are going to be there. Make a video on Stadium.
They did it was right around then they announced they had the new pack announced for the Mario Kart.
That's coming.
Okay.
Oh no, you're right. That was there. No, it's coming. It's still coming.
Okay.
Because after that we had Various Daylife, which is a game that I don't know anything about other than just it looks like a weird Square Enix game, and I'm here for that. But take day jobs to gain classes.
Yeah.
To what end? I don't know. But
I do not know.
Then they announced Factorio is coming to Switch on October 28th. Looks good. Like a good version of that game. Ib was announced, and that game looks creepy.
Mm-hmm.
In such a cool way.
Sorry, everything's running together.
I understand.
Fatal Frame.
Yeah, no, it's not. That was the one earlier.
That was the one earlier. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm gonna back
This
up.
is the one that's 2D in the museum where she goes to the painting.
Yes. Goes through the painting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of that. That one had a little bit of that Oxenfree feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, with an art style kind of like Yomawari almost.
Yes. Yeah.
After that was the Mario Strikers free update, which adds
Oh yeah.
Pauline and Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
not no surprise there. They've been announcing that they're gonna release stuff
mhm.
for that.
Diddy's
Go ahead.
cool. Pauline's all right. I like Pauline. I don't hate Pauline. I'm not as in love with her as a lot of the internet is, but you know she's fine. Atelier Ryza 3 was announced coming February 23rd. It's cool.
No.
Still need to try those games at some point. Mario Kart Booster Course Wave 3 is Merry Mountain and Peach Gardens.
Yeah.
Not the levels I would have picked.
No, they're getting there. It's not if you've paid for them, it's exciting, but I don't
Yeah.
see anything. There wasn't anything, extra.
This is not going to make me pay for them.
Yeah.
Oxenfree's very good.
Yes.
Then we got a weird little period of time here with Miyamoto himself on Pikmin Bloom, followed by the announcement of Pikmin 4.
Yes. Yeah.
Heck yeah. And his shirt. He had to announce his shirt as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Lest we forget,
Yeah.
he had to show off the new Pikmin shirt.
Yeah. He got his shirt. Don't want to forget that.
After that, we had a weird trailer for Just Dance 2023, which is coming November 22nd, where it looked like somebody died at the end of it.
Which I probably would if I played through a campaign.
And then Harvestella got a trailer coming November 4th. They didn't really tell us anything more about the game other than just, hey, it's a Square Enix farming game that also has like monster fighting and stuff in it, and seems cool. I know a lot of people are excited for it. We got a new Bayo trailer, which is coming. Bayonetta 3 is coming October 28th. It's a weird trailer because they spent a long part of this trailer going, used to fight for herself, then she fought for others, now she fights for the world.
Yeah, but having said that, it's Bayonetta, so
yeah,
definitely
it's gonna
pay
be
attention.
good. You know,
I think so. It looked fun. It looked fun. You don't divert too much. You give a bigger world, it'll be good.
Yeah. Then they announced Master Detective Archive Rain Code. Isn't the world others? Yes, but it's more others.
Yeah, a lot. Goodness.
This is the game made by the Danganronpa people. It looks weird and kind of interesting. I'm going to wait for reviews before I even consider buying it, because I'm not a big Danganronpa guy.
Yeah.
Then they announced RE Village Cloud version is coming to the Switch October 28th, and honestly looks good.
It did.
For a Switch.
That was a whole, I give a whole little, as you would say, a Resident Evil punch.
Yeah. RE Village, then RE7, RE2 Make, and RE3 Make, all four coming to cloud.
Yeah.
But you want to be connected to the internet to play them.
Yeah, and you want to be connected to a good internet to play them.
Yeah.
And
for it to look as good as it did there.
You mentioned it in the reaction to, they have demos.
Mm-hmm.
Try it out first.
Please try that demo first.
Yeah.
Then they announced Sifu on Switch coming November 8th. Still need to try that game. It looked pretty good on Switch.
Did?
Then they announced Crisis Core Reunion is coming to the Switch on December 13th, which is really cool. It means more people will get to actually play Crisis Core.
Yeah.
Even if they can't play Final Fantasy VII Remake, they'll get to play Crisis Core.
True.
But I mean, honestly, I'd rather they get to play Crisis Core. Because I love Remake, but Crisis Core. My heart right
now. But then you play Crisis Core and then you play 7.
Yeah. And then 7 means more to you than it did before.
Yes. And some of the crap that Cloud says starts to make sense too.
Yep. And then anytime somebody says the word Zach, you go, oh, my heart, I love him so. Then they announced Radiant Silvergun, which is a very old game, is coming to Switch. It doesn't look like it's been changed at all, which is cool. Old shmup.
Yeah.
They showed Endless Dungeon, which seems to play fine there. They didn't even really talk over it. They just kind of showed it for a minute.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Kind of splashed it on the screen for a little bit.
Yeah.
Looked good.
Then Tales of Symphonia Remastered is coming to the Switch. My gut says this will be the best version of this game to be able to get on anything that is like not a standard console, because if you get it on PC, it's a bad version of that game. So hopefully this is a decent port to get.
Yeah.
Then we had Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which is coming February 24th. It's coming back bringing back all of the mini games from Nightmare in Dreamland for the GBA. So stoked about that, and looks really fun.
So what's it adding, Trey?
It's also adding a brand new mini game.
Okay. What else is it adding, Trey?
I'm forgetting something very important here. What am I forgetting?
Mech.
That's right! Mech Kirby! Sorry, everything was running together in my mind, too. It's adding Mech Kirby. Not the one from Robobobot, but it plays like the one in Robobobot. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Look, I cannot tell you how much I had to practice Robobobot to be able to say it on the podcast when that game was announced.
Good job, sir.
Thank you. And then finally, we got our Zelda trailer, which wasn't much of a trailer, to be honest.
No. They still, I mean, it's a big title for them. They're gonna tease and tease and tease, and it kind of felt that's what it was.
Yeah,
just more teasing.
We want to give you the final name of this game. It's no longer Breath of the Wild Part 2. It is now The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And it's coming December 5th, 2024.
Yes. Yes. So we didn't get much out. We didn't get much out of it. Of course, it looks cool. It's a Zelda game. I'm gonna check it out.
Remember when they said, "Hey, we're not gonna have it finished in time. We're gonna push it back," and we said, "For how long?" And they said, "We'll tell you." They have told us they have pushed it back by 2 years.
Yeah.
So
they read some of the rumors on the internet and we got to put this in.
Yeah, that's right. I love Breath of the Wild, so I'm fine with them taking as long as they need, finish it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Tears of the Kingdom. The vertical stuff all looks really cool.
Yeah, it does. It's got the Breath of the Wild look.
Yeah, it does.
And it looks like it plays the same.
Yeah.
Which, is not a bad thing. Expand that world out.
Agree.
But, all good deals.
Then finally, for announcements, we have The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria.
Yes. Now look. This is about dwarves and rebuilding. And it looked like a crafting game with some fighting.
Yeah. It really feels Valheim to me.
Yeah. Let's do it with inside a mountain with dwarves. Seems like a good place to set that up.
Yeah, I agree. That looks like a fun game with online multiplayer and everything. So
yeah.
Hopefully it's like Deep Rock, but Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah. We're getting in on this year.
Then we can move on from announcements to the news. Like I said, that was the bulk of the podcast. I know it took a long time for us to get through them, but there was a lot of cool stuff that got announced, and I'm pretty happy with all the stuff for the most part.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuff we're pretty happy with, we got a trailer for Violet and Scarlet, the new Pokemon games, that you and I recorded a reaction to.
Yes.
And some incredible looking new Pokemon in there that look like they came straight out of Mega Man.
Yes, and the art style of the game looks like they're going back, because the last game, they changed the art style a bit, felt like, and now it looks like a Pokemon game again.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked that trailer a lot. I think it was very good. Go back and watch our reaction if you're interested in that.
Yeah, the crystals are pretty.
Yeah. Forgive me if it feels like I'm trying to blitz through this news. I'm not. There just wasn't much more to say on that trailer other than what we've already said. Netflix is changing some stuff on their back end. They're moving away from the binge model for future projects and will start releasing episodes weekly instead of dropping them all at once.
Don't need that. Come on. That's the one good thing you do.
I see pros and cons to this. Big con is... Huh?
It's a marketing thing. You run for 3 months. You're going to have them. Well, you got to pay over the next 2 months to watch this show now.
Yeah.
You can just pay the month that it comes out to watch it.
Yeah. I agree. That's the big con, right?
Yeah.
Before you could subscribe for a month, watch the show you wanted to watch, and unsubscribe. The benefit to this is that maybe they won't crunch their people so much.
Yeah.
But that's the only real benefit that I see. That, and I suppose anime that they get will now actually be talked about by people instead of being forgotten immediately.
Well, they got, this may help. This may help work out the, over a season, spread it out for the workers and stuff.
Yeah.
Not only, for actors, cameramen, as well as writers and everything
Right.
else, producing all that to get it done. I think it's it's a double-edged sword, I do believe.
It is. And I think it's a net loss for consumers, honestly.
Yeah.
But, we'll see how things go. Like I said, I see a weird side on this because of the recent stuff with JoJo's Part 6 that Netflix got a hold of. The Jolene stuff, where they dropped the first half and then dropped the second half, and nobody's talking about it. It's not winning anime awards, even though other parts of JoJo have, because people aren't watching it week to week. They watched it in one sweep, and then we're done with it, So that's not how we watch anime normally, but
you got to build up some chatter between episodes, man.
Yeah. So I do still, like you said, though, I think it is a net loss for the consumer.
Yeah.
Man, this is such a weird thing to talk about here, too. Let's talk about the One Piece art project.
All right.
So there was announced by JBE Books a limited 1,900 pound version. 1,900 pound is in the price, not as in the weight. Of One Piece in a single 21,540 page volume.
Okay, so I'm taking a guess. Well, correct me later. It's about $2,200 is what you're telling me?
Yeah, just about.
Okay.
It is the longest book that's ever been created because it's all of One Piece that's been made so far in one thing. And you may say, well, why do you have this in quotations then? Why is this controversial? Well, there's a couple reasons. First off is that the images they use on the back of it are some spoilers. That has a couple people upset.
Yeah.
And the other part, I'm going to drag this on screen here, and I'm going to let people see for themselves, and they can decide what the issue is with this. Let me remind you, One Piece is made by a man named Ichiro Oda. And I don't know if you can see the name on there.
Yeah.
But this is the name. Ilan Manoch is the name of the man that has put this project together.
Okay.
This is One Piece by Ilan Manoch.
Okay.
Where he gets to claim it as his own, even though he's not the one who made it, because he's the one who oversaw the publishing of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, copyright doesn't come into question here because technically they were given the right to sell this art project by Toei. So this man, because he's put the box together, is allowed to put his name on there. Because the manga itself will still say Ichiro Oda.
Yeah.
But only inside it. And to me, this is not a situation where most anime fans are ever gonna have a problem, because they're gonna know, hey, this guy didn't make it, Oda did.
Right.
But if you're not an anime fan, and you go to an art exhibit and you see this on exhibit, and then somebody mentions One Piece to you, go, oh yes, I've heard of the man that made this Ilan Manoch.
Yeah. That's the publisher. He has publishing rights. He didn't
Right.
create it.
Oh, it's ad time.
What?
Yeah. And it just comes off really, really bad, in my opinion. They also like don't have the panels they chose for it are all from one of the arcs that most people say is the worst. And they don't even have like main like big moments. And then when you go to the website where you can buy this, at no point anywhere on this website is Oda's name ever mentioned.
Yeah. Golly, the pettiness level just keeps increasing.
Yeah, so let me read this blurb to you on it. One Piece by Ilan Manoj consists of all the volumes of the worldwide bestseller One Piece assembled into a single book of 21,540 pages. With a spine width of more than 80 centimeters, this sculptural object cannot be read or displayed in bookstores. It is literally the largest book in the world by far and can be admired as the materialization of an ecosystem saturated by media. One Piece exists as an object of pure speculation.
All right.
Which just says pretentious to me.
Yeah.
Also, Oda has announced One Piece's ending. So why not just wait till it's done? Why spend all this money to do this when we only have 3 years till it's done?
I'm wondering if it's not just to keep publication.
It could be.
It's like you have to, if you don't publish something with all these titles, all right, I'll publish one book then.
Yeah.
I'll publish one thing.
I
Especially
don't
if it's in a
know,
limited run.
Yeah.
Look, they've made terrible movies just for that reason.
That's very true. It just, I don't know, man. It feels really weird to me to go, hey, here's this thing I made. It's like, but we all know you didn't make it, but I made it.
No. I made this giant book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a weird thing.
It is.
Man, while we're talking about bad news, let's talk about the fall of Babylon's Fall.
Okay.
So, Babylon's Fall, a Square Enix game, online multiplayer action RPG. I want to read their notice of termination for you.
Okay.
Greetings, Sentinel Force, which is the in-game like group, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for playing Babylon's Fall. With the desire of delivering an exhilarating online multiplayer action RPG set in an elaborate high fantasy world, we launched the game's official service on Thursday, March 3rd, 2022, and have continued to undertake additional development and operations. However, it is with deep regret to inform you that we will be terminating the game service on February 27th, 2023. As a result, we will also cancel the large-scale update that we had planned. In terms of the plan moving forward, Season 2 will run until Tuesday, November 29th, 2022, as scheduled, and the final season will begin with the maintenance scheduled on the same day. This final season is the period during which you can earn the ranking rewards of Season 2. As a way of expressing our gratitude to all players, we plan to implement as many events and other initiatives as we can leading up to the end of service. Now, there are some good things in this. Not many, but there are some.
We're celebrating the end of the game.
Starting today, they have completely suspended the sale of premium currency.
Fair. Okay.
Can't spend more money on this game, as they should stop you from doing so, because they're stopping the game. The final season is supposed to have some special rewards. And starting the end of that season, they will not allow you to purchase the season pass anymore. If you wanted to buy the season pass right now, you still could. You shouldn't, but you still could. But starting the end of the season on Tuesday, November 29th, you will no longer be able to buy the season pass. They're going to do a Christmas special for New Year's with special rewards. And then they'll have some special event missions coming out in January and February. And then after service ends on the game, they will also shut down this website for the game.
Man, they're just cutting this off.
Yep. They have sent it out to die.
Yeah, we're done with this. Now, wasn't this was like a hot topic?
Yeah. This game was supposed to be really good. They announced a lot of crazy cool looking action with it, and then we started getting little things that made us go, huh. And the first big one was, hey, they pulled the creative director off the team. Huh. And the second one was, hey, they're borrowing weapon skins, like they're borrowing weapon item codes and the appearance of them from Final Fantasy XIV because they don't have the time to finish all the weapons. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then now here we are.
Yeah. Well.
And then
Didn't work
lastly,
out as planned.
no, not at all. Lastly, you know how much we love to dunk on IGN's top 10.
I would never.
IGN's top 10 tactics games has been released. Have that list in front of us now.
Okay.
What do you think is going to be on this list? I've seen it, so I can't play the guessing game.
I don't know. Does it have to have tactics in the title?
No.
Because there'll be some Final Fantasy games there.
Right.
But I don't know what they're going to count as tactics, because everybody has tactics, right?
That's
Halo
the
War,
problem.
Gears of War. And what are they counting as a tactics game?
That's the problem.
I'm not going to make any guesses. Because
Okay.
if they count Total War, then I'm going to pick Shogun Total War.
Right.
This is one of the best, but go for it. Go for it.
Number 10 of the best tactics games ever made is Other Side. A game that I didn't even know existed before I saw it on this list.
Never heard it.
Let me pull this up here. Other Side game. I'm not even saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying I've never heard of it before.
Pretty sure that's their hipster nomination.
Right. This came out in 2022.
Okay.
It is made by Lightbulb Crew. And it's got a really interesting art style, but I haven't played it to be able to say if it deserves that spot or not.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Project Triangle Strategy that came out this year.
Okay.
It's a good tactics game. I don't know that I'd say it's the top 10 of all time, but it's good. Number 8 is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, specifically.
Okay.
Path of Radiance is in my top 3 favorite Fire Emblem games. It's very, very good. Not the one I probably would have put on this list, but sure.
Well, they got some more to go. They got some room.
Number 7 is the Banner Saga. The original one.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Very good choice, I think.
Wards and stuff.
Yeah. Number 6 is Valkyria Chronicles. This is where we start to have some issues, IGN. I mean, we already had some, but I love Valkyria Chronicles. Does it count as a tactics game?
Yeah.
You play, you select the character on the map, on the grid, right? And then you manually go into their eyes and play as them, where you can then use your actions and shoot or throw grenades. You have free control.
Yeah.
That's where it stops feeling like, in XCOM at least, you tell the character to do something and they do it. It's still strategy, right? Don't get me wrong, you're still to use strategy in Valkyria, but I don't think it necessarily counts here.
Okay.
Have a good one, Waverly. I don't know. It just feels weird to just go, hey, this is a tactics game.
Yeah.
Next up, it's Disgaea 5, Alliance of Vengeance. Definitely not the Disgaea I would have put there. Also, Disgaea games are tactics games, sure, but they're also their own thing.
Yeah. Say, this is... You can't really put... There is games you can put under this label, but they're not...
Yeah, I need to know what we mean by tactics. Do we mean SRPG?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like it with Valkyria Chronicles here. Number 4 is Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which is the one that came out a couple years ago. I feel like it's on here because of recency bias. Yeah. It's not a bad tactics game by far. I just don't think it is quite as tactical as some of the other games.
Okay.
In the series.
Okay.
A lot of your tactics come from, are you going to recruit these people or not? And if so, how are you going to utilize them? But you can kind of recruit everybody just about if you're careful. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's still tactics to it, but it's not... I like the game a lot, but I like it because of the story, not really because of the gameplay.
Okay.
Number 3 is Tactics Ogre Let Us Clean Together, which is, yes, that game should be on this list.
Okay.
Let Us Clean Together is a great tactics game. It should be on this list. Number 2 is XCOM 2. Yes, absolutely, that should be on this list. I understand why it's here. I personally like the original XCOM reboot more, and I like some of the older XCOM game more than 2. But 2's the newest one. I understand why it's here.
Yeah. Okay.
Then number 1 is Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions. Of course that's on here.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that number 1 though?
I think story-wise it deserves it. And that's the problem. I don't think they're ranking them by how good they are as tactics games. I think they're ranking them by how good the game is that also maybe and maybe isn't a tactics game.
Or has some tactics in it.
Right. But I feel like we're forgetting a lot of tactics games in here. Where's Shining Force? Where's, I mean,
Well,
if we're just... Go ahead.
We made fun of Command and Conquer before, but
Right.
at the time it came out, that was a groundbreaking game.
Yeah.
And I think it would go on the list.
I don't know, man. There's so many games. Like, people in the comments on this, because of course people are going crazy. XCOM UFO Defense is a really, really good tactics game. Fallout 2 is a really, really good tactics game.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a weird list.
That would also count as an RPG.
Yeah. And so does Valkyria Chronicles. This is a weird list. I don't know. Where's Advance Wars? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
That's, as usual, IGN making headlines so people will click on them. And we did.
Yes. It worked.
All right, well, let's throw it over to Rundgren's Corner then.
All right. Well, first start off with a happy birthday. It is happy birthday to Fiona Apple.
Oh.
Sure she's watching. Yes. If you her song Criminal, if you remember, you're old.
That's fair. That's fair.
Called it. Now, if you've been keeping up with the podcast, you know we have been bringing you the news that is important about the uprisings that have been happening around the world.
Right.
Quite scary, quite terrifying. Well, I think I might understand why that happened.
Oh.
And I'm going to read off the headline. And I think this is going to answer a lot of questions about what is happening across the world on so many levels.
Okay.
All right? Nigeria, a few days ago, Nigeria seized donkey penises to be smuggled to Hong Kong. Nigerian officials have seized thousands of donkey penises that were about to be exported to Hong Kong.
I have so many questions right
now. These sacks were the sacks were in sacks. They were seized at international airport in Lagos, Nigeria's largest city. If I apologize if I get his name wrong, is Sambo Dangaladima. Okay. He is the commander of the customs service around there. He had to give this report. What got them caught is these were falsely declared as bull genitals, but after due examination, they were found to be from donkeys. 16 sacks were seized, and they have launched an investigation. Now, this is rare. But donkey skins are smuggled out of the country.
Right.
In July, they grabbed $116,000
Oof.
worth of donkey skins being smuggled. And the thing is donkeys are kind of are important to Nigeria.
Right.
There's actually they were trying to put a ban on killing donkeys. In fact, Mohammed Dati, one of the federal lawmakers that really supports the ban on this, says, look, the major beneficiary of this, who orders the most skin, is China. And in Nigeria, that animal is facing extinction, and you can't breed it in large numbers because of very low rate of fertility.
Right.
So China is ordering. Well, you heard what they were ordering to make their medicine, and I think this explains why the animals are mad at us.
Yeah.
And the world is going to war. You know, we may be going to war with China.
Yeah.
That's the logical. That is the and now we know it was in those sacks.
That's right.
They're
smuggling them out of the country.
And I can't say I blame the animals for being upset.
I agree. They started with the donkeys, and I said nothing.
Yeah.
They came for me.
People will smuggle anything.
Man, it feels like people are just waiting for somebody to ask them to smuggle something, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, how do you propose that sale?
Not only do you propose the sale, but somebody goes, yeah, I'll take that over. I'll take that over the border. I know it's illegal, but I'll take it over the border.
Yeah. So excited. Got 16 sacks.
Don't worry. I'll just say they belong to bulls. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Dang it. Now we got to examine these. Man.
And you got to be the person that examines them and go,
yeah.
New hire goes, well, how do I know the difference? You learn.
I don't spend my time looking at the counterfeit one. I spent all my time studying the real one.
Man.
But, yeah. So that, I just try to reach out around the world. And there's some things that, there's plenty of reports from the United States, but there's some things you're not going to get that story anywhere else.
That's right. That's right.
With that. So, well, here, we support the donkeys.
Yeah, for sure. Don't steal donkeys' genitals and try to sell it. Let that donkey be. Let that donkey alone.
Once again, the money trail leads to China.
Man.
Unintentionally, there is a whole series there.
Yeah, that's true. Man. All right. Well, you got any plugs this week, Rucker?
I probably did before I read that story.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
There's a great documentary. One of my favorite comedians of all time. I believe stand-up comedy is important. But one of my favorite comedians of all time is named Bill Hicks. And there's a documentary on him. I forgot the name, the channel. But it's called American Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing nothing, watch it.
Cool.
Because he died of pancreatic cancer. Sorry, spoilers, I guess. He did. He died of pancreatic cancer at 32, but his story is really cool. And what he brought to the stage. I don't think he changed comedy, but I don't think he's known. He's known as the comics comic.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'll talk about Bill Hicks because more people need to know.
Okay. I'm gonna plug Corridor Digital. They did a series. I didn't realize they'd done more of it. They did a series called Son of a Dungeon, where they played D&D and used FX. They're very good FX artists to put themselves in important scenes. And they did the rest of it for that season. I thought they'd only done 2 episodes, but they did 8 episodes. The other 6 are on their website. They have a 14-day free trial, so I'm working my way through those right now. And they're about to do a season 2, so
all right, that's
it's
good.
pretty cool. It's silly nonsense in a lot of ways, but that's they're having a good time, and that's what matters.
Sometimes we need silly nonsense.
Yeah. And then plug in the Friday streams. We finished the Barbados last week, 6th form. We're gonna paint Intercessors and finish off the Intercessors this upcoming Friday, most likely. And then I said Friday that I would announce Tuesday what the next model is gonna be. The next model is gonna be an SD. Oh,
nice.
Come on now. Let me get it closer so the green screen doesn't catch it. Come on. Green screen. Let everybody see it. The SD Hoggies 3 Zhao Hao Duin version from Sokuden. So when I said eye patch earlier, he's it.
Yeah.
He's got the eye patch.
Okay.
Very excited for that. We're going to see how long it takes to make an SD compared to the 3 hours roughly that it took to make the Barbados.
Very nice.
And of course, we'll be back, I almost said tomorrow, Thursday, with the D&D podcast.
Yes.
I went back through today, through all of our Mordenkainen's coverage, and added the alphabet numbers. That's not letters. That's the one.
Yeah.
We've been recording for a long time.
We're not doing algebra. Come on,
right.
man.
The alphabet letters for where we were at in the book to each of those. So,
okay.
We are about to be in the ends Thursday, and hopefully you stick with us because we've been having fun there. Letter 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
Letter 2.
So, yeah, just stick with us. We're making good stuff, I think. All right then. If there's not anything else, we will wrap this up then, I suppose.
All right.
Until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Life has to offer. Save those donkeys, man. They need